Wow, this weather sucks. So this is a pretty big problem for the Tempo Legend 10 and King Ultimate, because the New Balance 442 Elite here is not only one of the best, if not the best synthetic leather boots on the market, it's also cheaper than both of them. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you what it does well, and of course also not so well, to hopefully help you decide if you should pull the trigger and buy a pair of these or not. Because as always, I'm JayMike, and this is my review of the New Balance 442 Elites.
So, the previous 442, the V2 Pro, was pretty amazing with its leather upper and top value for money. But then New Balance have decided to move away from leather and to up the price. And that sounds like trouble.
You know what? It's always sad to say goodbye to a good little leather boot like this, especially one that offered what the V2 Pro did at a very good price. But with that said, and being a leatherhead myself, I just can't help but feel drawn to the 442 Elite. Because no, it's not made with a leather upper, but it comes with this water-based PU, so polyurethane, synthetic leather upper that has these little debossed grooves to kind of mimic that stitched quilted pattern on the V2 Pro. Now what's also interesting here is that of course you get this hypo knit tongue to give you that very smooth transition from boot to foot, but you also get a slightly more streamlined and, dare I say, speedy look on the Elite version. And that's cool, but what really drew me in with this one is the feeling when you get it on foot, because it's absolutely smashing. Because this upper that disappointingly enough doesn't have like a cool tech name to it, well, it is just really soft from the get-go. And in terms of pliability, I actually reckon that it's up there with a good solid natural leather in terms of how soft it feels. And once you break it in, which seriously only takes like 15-20 minutes before it really softens up, it is just so easy in terms of molding around your foot. It does have a little bit of that tension that a synthetic upper has, but again, break it in and it's just so easy to mold around the shape of your foot, give you that very personal and extremely welcoming fit. And I know that sounds like a big statement being a synthetic leather upper, but you know, I put it on and was like, wow. It is seriously one of the easiest boots to just step in and enjoy. Good. And another contributing factor to that is the shape of the boot, where, as I mentioned, you've got this relatively sleek and streamlined fit of it, where I wouldn't call it overly snug or restrictive, but you just get the sensation that it sits close enough around your foot and then allows the upper to do its thing. You've also got a decent width to work with, pun intended. But I wouldn't say it's like super wide. It doesn't give you tons of space inside for your foot to just swim around in, but it will stretch and work okay with most foot shapes. And that's kind of what I keep coming back to with the fit. For me, it's all about that easy step-in comfort and that very personal feeling sensation where the upper just, it feels impressively good. And I'll say that it kind of takes away that initial sadness from the 442 not being leather anymore. Because does this feel like leather? No, I don't really think it does. It feels more like leather than I would say K-Better or Flytouch Plus does, but you can still feel a difference out there. But still, with that said, it is really soft, and you don't get the overstretching, you don't get the water uptake, which today is pretty nice. And again, leather or not, it's just ridiculously soft. From a size point of view, I've gone true to size, and the length has been absolutely perfect. Wonderful fit around my foot, but if you have a really wide foot or just want a little bit more wiggle space, you can go up half a size. But true to size for me, that's perfect.
And then there's the outsole, which has been reused from the last 442. So it's the same.
It's a nylon outsole, which is actually a pretty solid choice because it's lightweight and it does what it's supposed to. It's got this pretty good, but also relatively snappy flex in the forefoot, decent stability in the midfoot, and the studs are okay and pretty comfortable. Plus, it's got this Infinigrip insole, which reduces a little bit of that slippage inside the boot. So, it works. God, this weather sucks.
But what about the touch, Jay? I know it might be a soft synthetic leather upper, but does it, for some magical reason, still feel like leather on the ball?
I'll be honest, No, I don't really think so. And sure, it might have this leather texture finish to it, but because of the thickness, or well, how thin it is, and because it has this like rubbery, matte, sticky feel to it, I don't really think that you can compare it to a natural leather upper. With that said though, there is a little bit of foam in there, so you do have a little of that dampened sensation, but overall you get a relatively sharp and clean touch on the ball. So if you're looking for that really super pillowy, like very soft and really elegant leather feel in a boot, the 442 Elite is not it. However, if you like it soft and close to the foot and modern with a hint of sophistication to it, you can do a lot worse than the 442 Elite. It's just easy and no nonsense, and because of that very sleek shape, it just feels good on the ball, I'm not gonna lie. But a leather boot, it is not.
However, nothing is perfect, and as much as I like many of the aspects on the 442 Elite, here are 4 annoying things that you also need to know about.
The first thing is the lockdown, or should I say lackdown? Because it doesn't have all that much, that was terrible. But the thing is that this upper here is really soft, and that means that it doesn't have all that much structure to it, and because of that, that secure feeling, that locked-in sensation is not really the best out there. It's not downright criminal, and if you do the runner's loop and you wear grip socks to work with that grippy insole, it's okay, but yeah, it could be better. That's the price of softness. And one thing that ties into that is the heel fit, which is initially really nice, pretty comfortable, but I like the one in the Furon better that sits a little tighter around the foot. I have a pretty slim heel and I do have a little bit of extra space like here with some open gaps. Again, it's not criminal, runner's loop solves some of it, but yeah, if you have a slim heel, just keep it in mind. Wide heel, it's not a problem. Oh, and then there's the hypo knit collar here, which I'm actually not mad at the material itself. But compared to the previous 442, I just miss that U-throw tongue with the classic tongue that just moved a bit more freely, and you could adjust the fit just that bit more than you can with a knit tongue. And the final 2 things is that, yes, the upper might be soft, and yes, it might look and feel a little bit like leather,
but it's not leather.
And I'm a little bit sad about that. And also, the price has gone up. It's still a good price, but you know, I just never like that.
However, if you can see the 442 Elite for what it is, a really soft, comfortable synthetic leather boot, I reckon there is a lot of value for money to be had here.
So to me, this is better than the Jumbo Legend 10 Elite and much better than the King Ultimate. And since it's only 190 euros, which is also significantly cheaper than both of them, it's just such a good price for a really good little boot here, despite of course the price going up from the 442 V2 Pro. The value for money is amazing. And of course, you can buy it, if you want it, in the link to Unisport right over there. But what do you think of the 442 Elite? Are you mad at it for not being leather? What's your take? Let me know in the comment section right down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, of course, for more videos like this. If you want to see the playlist with reviews, do that there. And with those words, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.